What's good, guys? It's your boy BrandoAKAMiracle showing off one of my favorite decks for you guys today. We are playing my Stardust adventure list. Starting off with the adventure package, I really wanted to bait out a hand trap with that Foolish Burial. Didn't need it, so we're pretty good here. Getting out Wandering Griffin, and then we're going to go into the tuning. Using Revolution Synchron to our hand, and we're going to have our Baron de Fleur on the field before we do any of our synchron shenanigans. Now, Baron is a key part of the combo because Baron gives you negate protection for your junk speeder, and this is where the combo gets interesting. Now, with junk speeder, you're also going to chain block with the Faithful Adventurer. They combo significantly well together, getting you the Baron, junk speeder, plus chain blocking. You don't even have to waste it on an Ash. Getting the Stardust Synchron, we're going to get our Illumination, and Junk Synchron is going to be the first tuner we use. I like Stardust Charge Warrior. Now, you could also play other options, for example, go into a 7 first, or go into a different way, but works out really well. Now, we're going to use Excel's effect to bring back a tuner, and then instantly sync it right back off to get ourselves access to Stardust Dragon, to use Excel's ability to essentially quickly synchro into the level 12 Crimson Dragon. Now, I do this right away because your opponent has time to imperm you on your first effect, but you can easily dodge it. So it's another way to just play around stuff. As well, this makes your Crimson Dragon unaffected. So you can still get your Synchro Rumble as well as guarantee get your Shuffle extra deck Synchro Summon. Now, we're going to use Illumination to get us access to Trail. If you still have Wheel, this is a good way to get out Bystial Dispatter. This gets you both worlds going into Bystial Dispatter this way, because you can use the effect to go and use the Excel as tribute fodder or use it for Wheel Synchron. Now, we're in a good spot here, so I'm going to go into Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend is going to tune with Jet Synchron to get us our third negate on board. Now, the options are we could also play a different target for Crimson Dragon, but I like the Shuffle Instantaneous. Now, we're going to use Wheel in Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend to convert its level to level 7 to get us access to Psy-Frame Lord Omega. Now, Omega is going to come out. This also would give you access to Crimson Dragon if the Omega route wasn't available to you. Now, we're going to take 2 cards out of our opponent's hand. Both were Lava Golems, if you didn't see. Our opponent was on Moikanko, so honestly, didn't feel bad at all for taking 3 cards out of my starting opponent's hand and having 3 negates. Covers all of our bases, and it's a really strong combo to start. On to the next one. Alright, going first again, opening up with Crossout as well as Small World. Now I'm going to use this opportunity to use Small World to kind of bait out stuff. Now, Stardust Synchron is a very good connection, actually. It gets us access to the Water Enchantress the Adventure line. Now, Adventure Token, we're going to use Faithful Adventure to get our monsters, and we're going to pitch Maxi. Honestly, Maxi is in there as a Crossout target, as well as it's a pretty good going second card. This deck really likes to go first, but my whole goal of Stardust is to make it the most overall meta version possible, and I feel like this does it. With playing a significant amount of engine and synchrons, you're playing a limited amount, but also a good amount, and you're also playing non-engine in, for example, Reborn Tengu and Adventure Engine. Now, our opponent has the Imperm. I'm going to use the Crossout for this because I would rather save the Omni Negate for Nibiru if possible. Nibiru is extremely playable through, but I just wanted to show and explain the reasoning that Nibiru is extremely easy to play around once Junk Speeder resolves, because you're no way getting to 5 summons before the Junk Speeder resolves. But hey, I want to crash out as much as possible, and I feel like it's the best way to do it. Alright guys, on to the next clip. Alright guys, another clip. An unorthodox way to get to our adventure engine but I wanted to show off this kind of capability. Now, opening up a Water Enchantress in an Assault Synchron or some kind of tuning or small world doesn't mean it's not possible to get out your guy. Now we're going to use Water Enchantress here and special summon it. Now you see the level 5 access we got here. With Junk Speeder or Assault Synchron and Water Enchantress, we'll get access to our Junk Speeder that way. Now we still have chain blocking capabilities, but unfortunately that's the only protection we have, making it very noticeable that Imperm and Veiler are still heavily good targets for you. Now I'm going to get the Illumination Search, and my opponent is going to surrender right after that. Honestly, it's hard to show very interactive games with Junk Speeder because the success rate and the victory rate of if your Junk Speeder resolving is significant. The card is so crazy. Being able to summon as up to 5 from deck, man, I'm going to break this card in so many decks, and that's what I love to do for you guys. Alright, on to the next one. Alright guys, going first, we opened up a pretty nasty hand with the Reborn Tengu. This opponent uses the Ash on the Water Enchantress. Now this is a difficult situation, but this is a perfect way to show off our capabilities. Now honestly, opening up the Effect Veiler with the Reborn Tengu is not good. We play the Effect Veiler as a crossout target and as a Shooting Riser decrease target. So unfortunately, for this combo to work successfully, you need to pitch a level 1 target with the Shooting Riser. Because with Shooting Riser in a level 4, you can get out Baron if you pitch that level 1. Now Reborn Tengu is going to instantly spawn back another one, and that Revolution is in the graveyard, so it's good to go. Honestly, the best setup possible is still there, but you just need to be careful because you're going to notice I get the, I'm not going to be able to get that next Reborn Tengu because it's out, but we're going to be able to summon 3 guys off of it. Now Stardust Synchron still going to get our Illumination, but this is where it gets difficult. I have to use the Wheel Synchron, or I have to use the Wheel to normal summon that Veiler, getting us access to our charge, and I opened up the Assault Synchron in hand as well. That's why I didn't summon it. Now that kind of makes it obvious why it's easier to play one Assault Synchron, because you can special summon a Revolution instead and still get to that 8 with the one guy in grave. Just means you won't get access to your level 1 tuner as easy with that Excel effect. Now we're going to obviously quick sync into 12 to get us access to our Crimson Dragon. This will get us access to Synchron Realm, and we're also going to get back the Jet some way with the Excel effect. Now Excel's going to get back to the board. Our board is heavily clogged right now, and I feel like this clip is going to show me pretty much unclogging it and getting the most perfect setup I can. Now with Revolution and Wheel, it's perfect, easy way to get out our Psyframe Omega, and that clears 2 of our spaces almost instantaneous. Our opponent is on Dragoon with the Dragoon Sleeves, but we do have Stardust Illumination to increase the level Excel to get us access to Bestial Dispatter. We're not in a bad spot whatsoever here. Going to use that to bring back the Psyframe Omega to banish once more, and that banish is going to take out my opponent's Called By. Now Wheel is going to be able to level modulate to make it a level 9. I feel like I could go combo further, but this will force my opponent to realize the power prep if I banish until he has 1 card in hand. Looks like he was on some kind of Toy Box White Centurion list. We had fun with the last video with that deck, but nonetheless, I really was trying to honestly think, I was trying to see something. Trail does not special summon itself if it's the monster that is tributed. And that is what I wanted to learn. Now my opponent has 2 cards. He destroys his monster and he sets 1. He could have used that guy's effect, but he must have accidentally summoned it. But it was over already. The board is there. We go to battle. And my opponent reveals a trap. I have Ash. I could also negate it with Baron. But this game was over. Just an interesting point that you cannot tribute Trail and use Trail's special summon effect from Grave in the same sequence. I'm just trying to show you guys tips that I would like to know, and that's why I did that, just to confirm it, and you can't. On to the final clip. Alright, we got a very decent starting hand with the Water Enchantress. Our opponent does have the Ash, makes me kind of have to play risky and use my Called By. I like to save Called By for other shenanigans, example, Maxi. I really hate Maxi. Malcharmy is coming in the most recent update, and man, I'm not going to be happy about that. But nonetheless, white is going to get our Adventure token. Faithful Adventure is going to trigger. We can get our Wandering Griffin and pitch our Stardust Synchron. And we will special summon the Griffin, normal summon the Synchron to get out the almighty Baron de Pure. And I love this card. Hopefully it doesn't get banned. They really have other targets they need to worry about, and that is pretty much my way of thinking. Baron is a really good card, but hey, we'll come back to it later. But Junk Speeder's here. Faithful Adventure is going to chain block that. My opponent has 4 cards in hand. I have full combo. Now I can summon an extra tuner here. I don't need Excel right away, or I don't need to special summon Assault because I opened it in hand. And we're going to still be able to go into our Stardust Charge Warrior. Getting us another card. Not too bad. Actually, Trail was a terrible opening there. We did not want to open Trail. Reason being, Stardust Illumination is a dead card now. That's not going to matter. Excel's going to activate. Special Summoning. I saw Interaction. I wanted my opponent to activate the... He must have an imperm and is saving it for some reason. I have the negate, so I'm not really worried. But there is Crimson Dragon. Now it makes sense why he doesn't use it on the Crimson because it's now unaffected. But Assault's going to bring back the Excel Dragon. Man, this board looks absolutely sweet. We are chilling. We're going to use the effect of Crimson to get our Synchro Rumble. That is the spell of choice for me. But Revolution and Wheel are going to get themselves out our Psy-Frame Omega. Now our opponent loses another Ash, so he opened up pretty hand trap reliant, but we're going to use Wheel Synchron to get our Stardust Trail. Now this was an unorthodox way of doing it because I wanted to save as many of my resources as possible, but Wheel and Trail are the perfect way to make Bestial Dispatcher. Now we're going to use Bestial Dispatcher to go into Psy-Frame Omega. Use Omega's effect to take away another card. Our opponent has the Imperm. Now I'm going to use the effect of Wheel to decrease the level of Excel to make it a 7. Now that's where the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon would come up, but I was going to use it to go into Scarlet and then use Jet's effect to discard the Draco back to get out the Hot Red and then Trishula my opponent. And the combo is very crazy when it goes off. The hands are mostly credible these days, but I'll see you guys in the deck list. Alright guys, we're here. This is the deck list we are playing with. 1 copy of Valor. It comes out in more than 1 variant. So that is, I explained it during the clips. As well as Foolish Burial, pretty much giving us access to our non-monster or non-synchron side of the combo. The only slot that I feel like is there's a few slots that are interchangeable in this, and I'll get to it. So far for my setup, the most interchangeable slots are, there's 3 of them. You have not Psy-Frame Omega. Man, discarding cards like that is insane. Psychic and Punisher. I feel like it's very easy to do this, especially with 3 copies of Ash. I like it. It can come up in a long, grindy game. That's why I keep it in. Hackbit. This is pretty much the same thing as Psy-Frame for Psychic and Punisher. It's generic enough, but does massive damage when it comes through. And our final piece that I feel like is interchangeable is Sword Soul. I like the 10 aspect. There's other options. There's easy to get Crystal Wing and you just can't get out Hot Red. Or you could play Shooting Majestic Star Dragon as a level 11 target and somehow go into Psychic and Punisher instead of one of those other combo sequences. Now, the deck works with Reborn Tengu fully good to go, as well as the Adventure Engine being full power now. and this deck works really well. The only issue with the deck is you're wanting to run as many hand traps as possible so you survive, and it's pretty limited, honestly. We're running 4 in the spell and trap slots, and we're running 6 in the monster slot. So 10 hand traps out of 40 card deck. That's 25% of your deck that's hand traps. It's lower, but the amount of 2 card combos this deck has. If this deck had a 1 card combo, it'd be absolutely insane. But the deck still works, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Guys, check out the second channel. We're uploading weekly draft videos. We're battling a bunch of friends over there on Pokemon Showdown. It's been really fun. We're going to be working on other content, and I'm back in the grind mindset. Sometimes it goes away for a little bit, but luckily I'm trying to stay strong and get that consistency up there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.